Bless Me Ultima, I focused on the dreams. So my first question is, what is the importance of dreams in the novel?
I think they some kind of they foreshadow what's gonna happen or what would happen, I guess. He has a lot of dreams during this book, and most of the time when he wakes up, Ultima's there to help him out and calm him down, I guess. Yeah, so I guess that most of the dreams can be seen as foreshadowing, but I guess some people could argue otherwise.
Not to elaborate on what she said, they're traumatic in a sense. That because as you said, that Ultima would be there to help him, and to cure him pretty much in a sense because she was a curandera. But they're kind of traumatic for him, and they did foreshadow things. Sometimes they had already passed, like the Lupito thing. He had 9% of that, right? So it was either traumatic, or it was always traumatic pretty much, and it had to do with something that had happened in the past or was going to happen, in his, that's in the subconscious place.
Alright, so back to the foreshadowing thing. What do the dreams predict about Antonio? Not just the situation, just about Antonio himself.
He's starting to mature. He's starting to grow up because he's gaining new experiences. He's and obviously since I said the dreams are traumatic, they're kind of making him grow as a person, morally, spiritually, emotionally, and even though he's 5 or 6 years old, in kindergarten, he's still growing up as really fast, and this is causing him to experience a lot of things that kids his age don't. It just helps him grow as a person in all aspects.
Could you repeat the question?
What do some of the dreams predict about Antonio?
They kind of help emphasize they help emphasize what Antonio had just seen. Had he just witnessed the events and then that was it, he probably would have just considered himself unlucky. Whereas now that he has those dreams, he's it's showing that they're serving a purpose in molding him. So it sort of emphasizes to Antonio that he has a higher calling. I brought that up in the previous seminar.
Alright, what do the dreams reveal about Antonio's personality?
They show how inquisitive he is, because he doesn't. Well, it's not the dreams precisely, because he has very little control over what he dreams. But but it's what happens after the dreams, because he thinks about it. He doesn't just consider them bad dreams and then pushes them aside. He thinks about it. He wonders what they could mean. He tries to put names and faces to the 3 figures that he constantly sees. And so that he's trying to wonder what they mean, not what they mean for him. What they're telling about him and what they're telling to him, saying to him.
So you characterize him as what?
As an inquisitive archer.
Kind of he's determined to find the answers. It's just that's all he's perseverant, and that's all. He perseveres what he wants because he realizes that much of these experiences are gonna change his life in some way, and they're gonna impact him deeply. So he wants to know what's going on. He wants to know if you can add details to it, add things he knows, he can find the answers through those dreams.
I don't think it's Antonio trying to do it himself, you were saying, like how he kind of, I guess, was determined. I think like he's just kind of like forced to have these dreams. I think it's because, well, like when you're that young, I mean, it's really hard to see like the things that he saw, and I think like it's just in the subconscious, like he doesn't even know about it, but like when he sleeps, he comes back in his dreams, and like I guess like they can scare him, they haunt him, whatever. So I think it's just because he's young, and that's why Ultima's like there like to help him most of the time. But yeah,
Like, you know, like it's asking like how does it like portray him? What is it? You know, what aspects? Like what personality does it give him? What kind of like type of person does it make him?
well, that's what I think. He's just like a young kid, like
Yeah.
scared of the stuff that he saw.
How do Antonio's dreams develop or change throughout the novel?
Can you repeat it?
How do Antonio's dreams develop or change throughout the novel?
As the novel progresses, they sort of become more violent. Like at the beginning, one of the first dreams he had was just of his birth, like what happened the day he was born. Whereas, as later in the novel, one of the last dreams he had was that extremely violent one where the townspeople killed him, killed Ultima. They started worshiping pagan gods, and then at the end, they all were smitten by God and the golden carp. And so I think that's saying like as the more radical that they become, the closer Antonio comes to losing. I don't want to say to losing his innocence, but that's one of the best ways.
Like a certain aspect of his innocence, in a sense. Or like his innocence entirely.
Yeah, entirely.
Entirely.
Yeah, it's not so much losing his innocence as something else. Like to fulfilling his destiny. That's also a terrible way to put it, but that's one of the closest. He's becoming what he needs to be, pretty much.
In his eyes or in like whose eyes?
In fate's eyes, I suppose. That's what he's supposed to become. Like I said earlier, he's supposed to become something, and that's what happens when he witnesses all these events. They're shaping him, and it's painful. And those dreams are emphasizing what's supposed to happen. They're showing what needs to happen. Obviously, he doesn't need to die, and not all the townspeople need to die. But I can't explain it.
I agree.
Okay, so you touched on this already. What does the development of Antonio's dreams reveal about Antonio, and how are they connected? His dreams and his personality and stuff like that.
Can you repeat it again?
What does the development of the dreams reveal about Antonio? Like as they develop, like does it connect to how he is developing?
No, I don't think they're connected. I think they just, I don't know. It's hard to explain these, but it kind of help them grow in a sense, so they are connected. But it's hard to explain which aspect.
His personality remains fairly constant throughout the novel. He's sort of like a benevolent person who wants the best for everybody. So his outlook, his personality doesn't change all that much, even as his dreams do. So I don't feel that his dreams are any indicator of his personality.
Alright, that's it.